Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order and welcome all those present, and as well as those online watching online. So we have a full council today, except for Rich McHugh, who is out of the country. So also present, Cliff Gravier, our town manager, Terry Tiemann, our assistant town manager, and Raylene Menominee, town clerk, as well as Will Wharton, our IT director. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor? Aye. Approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held April
17th.
17th. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Approval of the financial report. Mrs. Keel.
Thank you, Mayor. This report covers the budget through April 30th, 2026. We are 8% through fiscal year 2027. We've collected 4.1% of our revenue for the year compared to 4.4% last year. And we have expended 7.7% of our budget for the year compared to 6.9% last year. Recognizing that this report is subject to audit, I move that the council approve this unaudited report.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Announcements and recognitions of visitors. I have a few announcements. Our town council has been busy attending Sussex County Association of Towns and the Delaware League of Local Governments meetings. Several of us, including Teresa Keel, Terry Tiemann, and myself, attended the League's Legislative Day at Legislative Hall in Dover just yesterday, hosted by our Lieutenant Governor, and meeting with our state legislators. Always good conversations, especially now with so many legislative bills going on currently, and we'll have a little discussion on that here shortly. I hope you were able to collect some of the tulip bulbs at the giveaway day, organized and refereed by our incredible Public Works and Horticultural team. I'm always amazed how many people come to collect the bulbs. It's so popular, and they were lined up out there an hour before the time. So it was kind of cool. The summer season is officially here. As you probably noticed, parking started today. Bethany is ready for the summer. The numerous roadway safety and boardwalk projects are finishing up. Denerick is currently on the beach refurbishing our dunes and crossovers. The town is fully staffed. You may have seen some of our seasonal police already patrolling. The trolleys will be running starting Friday the 22nd. That's a week away. You will also be seeing lifeguards training this weekend and on the chairs next Saturday. The first farmers market is Sunday, May the 31st. Julie has an incredible lineup scheduled for the summer kickoff of Memorial Day weekend with the Poseidon Festival 1 week away. Pirates will be landing their ship down at the bandstand, roaming the town. Mermaids will be swimming in their tank. First responders and county command post, as well as water rescue vehicles, will be offering tours and advice. And numerous shows and marine science demonstrations will be taking place. The VFW will be conducting a memorial service Memorial Day, Monday at 10 a.m. at the bandstand. So let's bring on summer. It's the nation's 250th anniversary. It's Bethany's 125th. Quite a summer. Bob is going to take over from Rich today and has the legislative report.
I will certainly try to fill in his big footsteps there. All right. So from a May legislative report, with reports indicating Delaware is facing an affordable housing shortage, Senator Russ Huxtable and Representative Kendra Johnson introduced the Housing for Every Delawarean Act on April 21st of this year. The bill would require all 3 counties and covered municipalities to include detailed affordable housing plans within their comprehensive plans. In addition, the municipalities with populations greater than 2,000 would have to incorporate an affordable housing plan in their comprehensive plans. These plans would have to include strategies to increase the housing supply and the diversity for all income levels. Certain elements would have to be included to increase housing production. These plans would have to be approved by the Delaware State Housing Authority, which would do regular reviews for compliance. It's not yet clear whether this bill will be enacted in this session, which ends in June. If it doesn't pass, it will have to be reintroduced next year. While perhaps not a direct attack on our local control, it is unclear how significant the changes with respect to the zoning and all of that would be. Although our town, Bethany Beach, which currently is below the minimum population threshold, would not be subject to this bill if enacted, the minimum threshold is not adjusted for the growth of our town, which could be subject going forward if it's enacted. The update since Rich shared this with me earlier in the week on May 13th, the bill had its Senate committee hearing where 3 county officials across all 3 counties signed a joint letter to the Senate committee opposing it, so for that topic. Another one is the recent analysis of Delaware electricity market suggests the construction of new data centers in the state could cause power bills to spike. The report suggested the impact on prices would be worse in southern Delaware because of the congested transmission lines. The analysis showed that requiring data centers to supply their own power would lessen the negative impact. This issue is getting a lot of attention up in Dover. The bill is moving through the legislature and would allow Delaware Electric Cooperative to reject requests from data centers to join the power grid. It's already passed the Senate. Currently, the Delaware Electric Cooperative cannot do that, right? So it would apply to the larger electrical loads designed as facilities that consume more than 50 megawatts of power. Right now, the bill would not apply to Delmarva, but apparently there's a separate bill that's progressing through Legislative Hall with respect to bringing them into it. Lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring in the aspect of fun facts that Rich always brings. This is from Rich. It's not my creativity. So you can picture Rich right now. He's in Ireland. He's enjoying probably a Guinness and also a chocolate chip cookie because May 15th is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. So in honor of Rich, he wanted to let you know that. So that's the legislative report on behalf of Rich.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. I love you always got something a little bit light at the end. This is a time that we open up for public comment. Is there anybody who would like to say anything? Seeing. If you would, at the podium, just let us know your name and your Bethany address.
Okay, my name is Janet Freeman. I'm at 319 Wellington Parkway. I appreciate the walking path, but what most of us would really like to see is a crosswalk at Wellington and Pennsylvania.
A second crosswalk at Wellington, like one on the...
No, at Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Wellington
Pennsylvania.
and
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
yes, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
So noted.
Okay, thank you. Always good to hear those things. Okay, thank you. I guess we'll move into reports. bicycle safety.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Just like, Teresa and I would just like to give you an update for our committee. If we we shared this last time. This is the workshop we had back in March, but the reason I want to share it again is because it continues to generate a lot of really good connection and interaction amongst the communities. We're getting a lot of communications going back and forth with each other on initiatives. ABC actually shared with us some training they had set up that was available. So it's a really good process, and we're going to see the benefits of that over the year. So I just wanted to highlight that again. This is one of the activities we recently had in April, and it's 3 of our members plus a devoted spouse, Ken. This was for the Ocean to Bay registration, and I think we had folks staffed at that almost 6 hours roughly, right? Diane and Ken opened it up, and then we had somebody there from 12 to 6 on the Friday, and had a lot of good interactions and sharings with the bikers, and again, went really well. So I thank our team who was there for that. I'm not going to go through all this. This is just some of the activities we've had. I'm sure Cliff will talk a little bit about some of the structural things that are going on in town. Really proud of those. But this really tries to highlight the engagement activities we have over the course of the summer to engage, talk to people, raise their awareness about safety and issues. Again, I won't go through all these. You've probably seen a lot of those before. One of the key ones that was added to this, though, that I want to highlight is this, the OHS, which is the Office of Highway Safety for Delaware, has invited Chief Foley, because of his advocacy and leadership in the area, to actually be filmed. I think this is going to be in June sometime.
It's soon.
Coming up. About safety and the role that the police teams have and citizens have. So that's going to be a great ad, and we'll be able to extract some of those clips from that for our work. But I just wanted to highlight that. And we do want to preface, though, he's probably going to be up for an Emmy when it comes to the awards and later in the year. So you all know this is one of our key themes that one of our team members came up with a couple years ago. We use this on a lot of our publications. It's sort of become our trademark, but it's really about how we engage with people. What we've created is this, we call it our umbrella, but it's a bunch of topics under particular areas. And we've had this for a couple years, and we've made sort of incremental steps with this. We've created a couple videos on our own. But what I really want to try to highlight today, Teresa and I, is that we made a key initiative out of our last meeting that we're going to do a build out of core safety videos around that. And this is really through the leadership of Julie Molowski, but she's helped us with this to put this together. But we're going to create a number of segments, and actually the town and town council for supporting this, of 30 to 90 seconds each that really are very focused on specific topics that go back to the topics we talked about before. It's going to be professionally done with some really good captions and messaging that we can use this in a lot of different ways. So it's going to cover the whole range from walkers to drivers, a various number of topics, and then we can utilize in our various media applications, whether it's the app, the web, or the website, maybe even showing a quick video on a trolley ride. Who knows? A lot to do. But again, just want to give you a highlight of that, how we're sort of pulling that together. Want to give one other update, and Cliff, thank you for sharing this with me, because I didn't see this, but there's some legislation that's been introduced to allow municipalities to lower the maximum speed limit from what is now, we're limited at 25 to 20. And that would be sort of under the direction of the municipality without a lot of red tape and having to get a lot of approvals, as long as we put up the right signage. We're really strongly in favor of that. I think it's, Cliff, as you were saying, it's gone back for some
There were issues with the language. I believe it's tabled and probably will be resurrected in a new bill in the fall.
Right. I
don't think it's going to be heard this summer session. So.
Right. But even if it gets into next year, I mean, this is something that's really positive for us. You can just imagine where we have roads right now in town that fall into the municipality that we'd say we'd really like to lower those speed limits officially from 25 to 20. And we would have the ability to do that without a lot of,
We receive many justified complaints about people speeding, but the people speeding are actually traveling the speed limit. 25 miles per hour is just too fast for the types of streets we have here. Lowering it to 20 would be a real benefit for the community, yes.
and so we're actually going to use this, we're going to use our network we developed to sort of help, with the other communities to help, they're aware of it and they're supporting it with their legislatures and the like. And the last thing is just to highlight our next meeting, which will be next week at 10 a.m. Teresa?
I don't have anything to add. Actually, I just have a question, because we get this question a lot. Do you know, Cliff, when they're going to put the lights in here?
I get that question a lot,
I
too.
bet
And no, I don't.
you do. Okay.
And the same thing with the light poles. We
Right.
ordered the poles back in the spring. They're in. Whatever the pieces DelDOT needs to connect electrically to those poles on those stands,
Yeah.
DelDOT doesn't have yet. And when we ask about those poles, we're told that it's a DelDOT issue and DelDOT is working on it.
Fair. Thank you. I mean, that's the answer, right?
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
So again, just to highlight, I mean, there's couple key things, right? We're doing a lot of things. If you think about what we've done over the last 4 or 5 years just in town around structural things to improve safety and reduce risk. Not that everything's been done, but a lot has been done. The other side of the coin are trying to engage people's behaviors, right? Talking to them and actually getting them to utilize the tools and situations that we've created for them. And so that's how our team really tries to think about merging these two things together. So, and the idea about Pennsylvania and Wellington, thank you very much. That's the key. We love getting that kind of input and perspective. So thank you, ma'am, very much.
We have a meeting every October, and that's where we ask community members to come and bring us ideas, but we'll just add yours to the list. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mickey. The next, we're not going to have a charter and ordinance review committee this month because Rich is out of the country. He requested that we put it off, obviously, so that'll be next month. Next one is report from the audit committee, and I don't see anybody here to give that one either. So I guess we'll move on to the next one. Cultural and Historical Affairs Committee, Mrs. Califf.
The Cultural and Historical Affairs Committee held a meeting on Tuesday, May 12th. The Tiny Art Show exhibit, which is currently in Town Hall until the end of May, is then going to move to the Dinker Irvin Museum and become a tabletop display in the post office room. It will only be the winning entries that will form the tabletop exhibit, and that will stay there through the summer. We recently held a workshop for our docents exploring different ways to engage visitors. The workshop had good participation and ideas, including adding low-tech interactivity and additional visual materials to support all the stories we tell in the museum. And if you haven't heard those stories, then you need to come on down. We'll be happy to share them with you. They're very good. Every time we continue to do research on that museum, we uncover additional stories, and they're all very interesting. The 121st anniversary exhibit will be completed and installed by late May. Can we have those photos? We have visuals today, Mickey. We're taking a tip off your committee. So what you're seeing here are 2 panels of the case setters. And well, I'll remember to warn them it's last. The display is going to reflect the first 125 years of our town. It'll be displayed in decades. Each decade is going to showcase significant events and objects from our collection. And that's going to remain in Town Hall through the end of 2026. Give that one to one. Okay. This is our commemorative ornament that we've had made to celebrate our town's 125th anniversary. They're going to be sold at the Dinker Irvin Museum, the Town Hall, and the Seaside Craft Show. Price for that ornament is going to be $20. I brought one with me today if anyone wishes to see it. They're quite nice. All the images are raised. It's all icons. It's Chief Little Owl, it's the tabernacle, it's the trolley, and it's the boardwalk clock. It's a metal ornament, and a very nice commemorative thing to have for the town's 125th birthday. And last but not least, we're in the planning stages for our Bethany Beach 125 event at the Dinker Irvin Museum. The event is going to take place on Saturday, September 19th, and we will have more details to follow in the coming months. That's our May report. And if anybody would like to buy this,
What a salesman. Thank you. Next, report from the non-residential.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Non-residential design review committee met earlier today to review 2 applications for approval. The first was an application from Colleen Allen from Rogers Sign Company for Lisa DeFibo, requesting approval for a new wall sign and awning for the new business DeFibo Sandwich Shop at 789 Garfield Parkway. Passed, no exceptions. The other was Catherine Laughlin, the tenant and owner of a new business, Forum Coastal Club, located at 100 Garfield Plaza, which is the old Surf's Up, requested approval for modifications to the existing facade as well as a new sign and awning. It was passed as well with no exceptions. Currently, there's 2 pending applications that will probably be looked at over the next couple weeks as we get ready here for the summer season. Mr. Mayor, that's my report.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Next report, Town Manager, Cliff.
Mayor, Council. As we mentioned, we're waiting on 4 poles. The contractor is done with our work except for the marking of the piano keys. DelDOT is the entity that handles the installation, the programming of the poles, and we don't have a good estimate on when that is supposed to be done. And we've been told, as it relates to the light poles on the corner, again, their contractor is waiting on parts that weren't ordered during the initial contract design and bid in order to put up the light poles here at the intersection. The parking lot access from the beach front lots in 1st and 2nd Street have been delayed by almost 10 weeks now because of a problem in receiving the lumber that was needed to complete the work. That lumber was delivered here 2 days ago. The contractor worked yesterday, did not work today, and will be back next week. They assure us that once they begin, and they made good progress just on Thursday, that they'll be able to complete the ramps fairly quickly. Will that be done by Memorial Day? Well, I'm not that optimistic for that, but it will be done before we get deep into the summer. The retaining wall that we've discussed a number of times and we know is needed in the Boardwalk Plaza to help from the plaza to keep from migrating towards the ocean. And the entrance to Central Park, the bid documents for both of those projects are done. They'll be advertised in the next week or 2. Contracts and bids are due back by July 9th, and we hope to be awarding those bids at our July council meeting. There's also, you'll see it in your packet, a modification of the fence. Contract has been let for that at the water plant. The fence is being modified near the entrance of the plant to bring the fence that runs parallel to Collins farther north, closer to Collins, to create an entrance for construction for the new clarifiers. So that's getting done. The clarifiers are in a design phase with our engineer, and that project is moving forward at this point in time. We routinely this time of year receive I won't say complaints, but concerns from different citizens about algae bloom in our canals. Right now, that's fairly minimal, not as bad as it has been in recent years, probably because we've not had a wet summer, and wet summers end up bringing fertilizer and runoff from lawns into the canals and helps to generate the algae bloom. But we've had that assessed for a number of years on a monthly basis through the season, and algae or not, our biologist comes back to tell us that our canals are healthy. Would they be healthier if we had more of an active flow of tidal water through the canals? Yes, but we don't. But we have it measured, and we're comfortable that things are the way they should be in our canals right now. Could they be deeper? Could we have more flow? Yes, but we just don't at this point in time. Our website redesign is just about done. In the next 3 or 4 weeks, we'll ask the council to have a workshop, do a presentation, solicit input from council members and members of the public to give us their insight on where we are with the design. And hopefully, no later than December, we'll be up and operational with the new website. And Mayor, that's all I have.
Thanks, Cliff. One question. We're bidding out the bandstand area retaining wall. What are your thoughts on when that happens and how that happens?
It would be off-season, obviously. It
Yeah.
would be July.
Right. Well, I
So
think
we'll be
that's
able to set the time.
Okay, but we have to take a look at it and
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
Because we have a multitude of things that go on during the off-season.
Oh, we won't interfere with those. Well, and what we're going to do, I think the time the bandstand will be down will really be abbreviated, doing the repair the way we're going to do it this year. So I might add, and I forgot to mention it, so with the beach access repairs, when DENREC notified us that they would be coming to work on our beach access points, we had to remove the Moby mats that we had already put down. And they request the mats don't get down till each individual beach access point is complete. So we have, not only do we have a problem with beach access from the transition from the dune to the beach, but now we don't have mats. We'll be putting the mats back as soon as we can. As soon as each ramp is done, we'll put the mat right back out. But right now, it's going to be more than a little difficult to negotiate some of those access points.
It's going to put a little pressure on Public Works.
Yes, and the other issue is that Wellington Parkway will not have a handicapped access until we have a major replenishment, and the dune can be rebuilt to accommodate the ramp that we need to make it handicapped accessible. So that leaves us with just Ocean View as our handicapped access point.
And my understanding of that ramp is this summer, it's not going to, it usually has the dog leg where it comes back, and they're going to do away with the dog leg
Yes.
and just run it
It
straight
would
on
just be
down.
direct access.
Right. So, which makes sense. You know. Thank you, Cliff.
Cliff, can I ask, with the, you spoke to the projects out here, the crosswalks further up on 26, the 2 new ones, can you update us on the status of those?
They're underway. They're working at, I won't say a slow pace, but they're working at a slow pace. And they should be completed here the next week or two.
Awesome.
But they're close to being done. There's not a lot to them, as you know, so
Great, thank you.
you're welcome.
They're not going to be limited, are they, in terms of, they can still do all that during the daytime hours?
Yes,
They don't have to go
DelDOT
on
has not said anything to them. The issue that was problematic with the timeline was this intersection. We were given a 1-week extension. They completed what they needed to do, and now again, it's on DelDOT to finish it, so.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Any questions?
Mayor, can I make one more comment just before we, and it's really back to Cliff and team, particularly Public Works. This is probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was, you mentioned the tool-up process, but it was really pretty cool. Actually, I was walking the dog early in the morning, and I counted, there were 9 folks from Public Works all out on the main plaza working together to, I guess, extract the tool up so they could eventually be distributed. And but it's really cool to see everyone working together, and I know that's a model you all and Brett have used to move people around and where there's a need and surge where you need to surge, and it was really pretty cool. I mean, it was literally, to get that done and get it done so well and everyone working together. So I just wanted to compliment you.
Thank you. Mickey, but they do it for a specific reason. They need to get the tulip bulbs up right away and quickly so there's not a riot with people waiting in line for the bulbs, so.
Or just digging them up themselves. I'm surprised that doesn't.
Yeah. Well, there was, and even later on in the morning, there was at least 4 Public Works people down there,
Yes.
you know, monitoring, refereeing.
Guarding.
Right. So, but it was all good. It was all good. Did I see somebody? Would you come up?
Mary Okerson. I live on Wellington Parkway, and I've spent a lot of time this winter walking through the town every day. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to suggest or question. Number one was, will we be power washing the sidewalks in downtown? I know that they power washed the area at the stage, and the benches were repainted and they look beautiful. But I feel like the sidewalks in front of like DB's and the ice cream place and right downtown, I feel like we need like a giant Tide stick because they're just, and I will tell you that last summer I overheard people in downtown saying, my God, these sidewalks are disgusting, they're filthy. But so do we have that do we have the money to do that, or is it feasible that we can give them a little scrubbing?
I believe we do that.
We power wash them constantly. It becomes problematic, especially during the summer when we do it. But it's a problem area. I can tell you that other jurisdictions make the particular vendor power wash their own walkway and keep them clean. We haven't gotten there yet, but we do our best to keep them clean. But getting a crew out early enough in the morning that we don't wake people up in the neighborhood, yet at the same time get them clean has been problematic for us over the years.
So we're not going to do
So
it
we
this
do.
summer?
We do. We always
I've
power
never
wash
seen
them.
them. I saw them do the
Well, they're out about 5 or 6 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
not up at 5.
Okay.
Okay, so there's 2 other things. When you were talking about bicycle and pedestrian safety, since I walk all the streets in town, the one thing I think that we could use more of are the signs that indicate that cyclists need to obey the stop signs and the traffic lights, because I myself have almost been hit twice by a cyclist, and they don't stop. They just, they just speed right through the stop sign. So either more enforcement of that, or more signs that say, you're going to get a ticket if you don't obey the signs. I mean, I think there's a few in town, but not enough. I don't think there's enough. And then 2 more safety issues. Walking in the north end of the town, there are a few houses that have beautiful landscape, but they have allowed it to feed right over to the sidewalk. So that when you're walking, unless you jog out into the middle of the road, you're going to walk right into it. So I'm happy to provide the addresses to these dwellings and give you. I mean, there's not a lot, but there's enough. And people with strollers have to, it's substantial. So I think, like I said, I'm happy to give you those addresses and have somebody follow up on it.
If you could.
Sure.
So we had, our committee went through this on 26 a couple of months ago, and one of the committee members gave a list, and we sent it on to Public Works, and it was
Great.
done the next
I'm
week.
happy
So
to do that.
please.
Right, and one more thing, sorry. In town this morning, I was walking, and where the little inside mall is, where they have the Sunshine Crepes and the Blonde Bakers and all that, there used to just be like one little sandwich sign, one little sandwich board sign, and now there's 3. So I'm sorry, I'm such a safety advocate that I think that it's too cluttered for pedestrians. So maybe somebody might want to take a look at that, because it's like 1, 2, 3 signs, and somebody's going to
Walk into them.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean,
On the boards, I believe those signs are on private property. They're not in the public walkway. So they are in property owned by the owner of that building. I don't know if we'll be able to assert ourselves into that and ask them to open it up or make it more accessible or not.
So you're saying where?
I'm saying those sandwich boards, I believe, are on private property. Not
You have to
in the
come out
public,
of-
not in the
yeah.
public walkway, not in the sidewalk.
Were they out on the
So-
sidewalk?
Because like Sunshine Crepes might sit back here,
Right.
but the sign is way out here.
Yeah, but town
Right, so
center,
if it's not.
Their menu sign, it's a menu
Right,
sign.
no, we know, it's the A-frame sign.
Right,
So
Yeah.
on the sidewalk, we can stop them.
but if it's not on the
But if
sidewalk,
it's-
inside that little
It's
mall.
his private property, it's the
So-
owner's.
Okay, so everybody in that little mall has access to that.
yeah.
Yes, it's private property. As it relates to people encroaching into what seems to be sidewalks, decades ago, I don't think anybody can actually pin it down. There were some established sidewalks running east and west in the 100 and 200 block of Bethany Beach. Over decades, people have encroached into that, and there are pieces, hodgepodge sidewalks, people out almost into the right-of-way, into the street, and there was never any enforcement of that, and that's been let go. It would be an incredible effort on the town's part and a lot of heartburn for many people if we were going to try to resurrect those sidewalks. Where we try to keep sidewalks open are our north and south thoroughfares on Pennsylvania and Atlantic. Atlantic is an ongoing project. We'll be doing something in the future to take care of North Atlantic. But in terms of reclaiming sidewalks, east and west streets, 100, 200 block, I don't know that that's something the town has really thought about or wants to be engaged in.
Yeah, so the liability's on them then. If it's their signs, their property, I guess, right?
As I said, it's happened over decades, so.
Yeah.
Is it growth or is it
No,
actual?
I've never, in the past, they didn't have that many signs out there. It's never been that many. I mean, it's just like more, it's just 3. Today there were 3. And I'm fine, I can see it. I can
We're
walk
talking
around
about
it.
the signs, I'm talking about the east-west sidewalks. So,
Okay.
okay.
When the east-west sidewalks, way back when, before the streetscape was done, were much smaller than they are today, weren't they?
I'm talking about the sidewalk, say, in the 100 block, where you might see a frontage of one property has a sidewalk, runs right into the plantings on
Right.
another property. That's occurred over 40 or 50 years
Yeah.
without anybody trying to rectify that or correct it. Now it would be a monumental task with a lot of issues to deal with.
But in cases where it's just overgrown vegetation, can't we send a letter?
Absolutely.
No, that's
If
different.
that's all it
That's a
is.
whole different story, yeah.
Were you
Well,
speaking to
I
the
would
veg?
encourage you just to, take a minute someday and just walk up through there and just,
I think we could ask
See
the
it.
people to at least range the signs so they don't block the walkway.
yeah. Well, it's going to be busy and then, from next week on, so. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could I just comment on the signage piece, and thank you for raising that. I mean, that's one of the challenges our team faces all the time. We have a lot of signage in town. I mean, I'm not quite sure where we'd put more signs, to be honest with you. I get your point, though, right? And that's
We're
one.
talking about bicycle signage now.
I'm talking about bicycle
Right.
sign. I'm coming back to the signage issue, right? About or bicycles following the rules of the road for, in effect, is there a car, right? In terms of yielding and the like. And we've talked a lot about that, but what the thought that came to mind, and this is really one of the things that the Chief Foley has talked about, is he's got, I think 5 of his team members are sort of that are very progressive and thinking out of the box, and he's encouraging them to do some things on how to engage people better. So he'll talk a lot about it, each one of our meetings, the enforcement he does in terms of warnings, citations, and the like. So that's done too. But I'm just thinking about maybe we can connect this whole signage, and particularly, not so much the signage piece, but trying to get, and it's some of the seasonal officers we have to really try to focus on bicycles, particularly where they're interacting with people and/or, so that might, we'll try to get that connected. It's a good idea.
I have seen them. I have seen the police on the bikes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a point of emphasis that I would take your your comment, and maybe we can try to maybe that's on our list of things to try to focus on,
Right,
so
it's
thank
part
you.
of the behavioral change. You know, we're trying to remind people, we all learned this when we were children, right? Stop at the stop signs, always. But people come here and they're on vacation and they just forget.
Well, and I think you can educate this week's people.
Right,
And then the
yes, there's
turnover
that too.
happens, and then the turnover happens, and it's a consistent, we see it all the time. I mean, it's, the people that are driving cars have to be very careful because bikers do not pay attention.
Right.
So enforcement works when you can educate your resident public. But when the resident public changes every week.
Every week.
It almost becomes, I won't say a wasted effort, but it becomes a futile effort. So you can allocate a lot of resources, you can have your seasonal police officers not do other things that they might be doing to constantly stay on top of the bike issue, when in fact, next Saturday, you'll have a whole new 10 or 15,000 people you'll need to educate. So it's very, very difficult in our environment.
And I know they approach it in terms of educating rather
Yes,
than
they
trying
do.
to
Yes.
pull them over and say, arrest you or something.
Right.
Yes,
You know, it's an educational type thing. So. Okay, any other comments before we continue?
Okay.
Before we go into new business, I'd just like to state that there will be an opportunity for the public to address questions on the agenda items after initial council discussion and before council votes. Was there anything else? Did you want to say anything, Rosemary? Okay, I thought I said.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Are you sure? Did you find your parking pass yet?
It's number 22, in case you found it.
Okay,
No.
new business?
Yeah, there's no old business. So the first order of new business is the discussion and consideration and possible vote on a resolution to reappoint Charles McMullen as the town alderman. Mayor.
Charles McMullen has been our alderman since February the 23rd of 2006. Yeah, 20 years. Charlie has also served, he also serves as the town election judge, but as alderman, he adjudicates actions brought under any ordinances of the town and pursuant to any of the laws of this state and its constitution. Majority of actions normally fall under parking appeals. He has a 2-year term per the town charter, but he also must be reaffirmed through resolution with the state periodically, and thus this resolution is up before us today. I wasn't going to read it because it gets lengthy and everything, but everybody's got a copy of it. My recommendation is that he has served the town admirably for many years, and I think he should be reaffirmed as our alderman. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Yeah, Charlie has done this, like you said, for 20 years, and I would say that he is more than fair with people when it comes to parking problems. You always have this, well, I use Park Mobile, but I put the wrong car on the thing and so forth, and he's more than willing to listen to people and give warnings as opposed to fines. He is very lenient, to say the least.
Was that an endorsement?
Well, it's not an endorsement as far as money goes to the town, but yes, I think it's an endorsement.
Sounds like he's let Jerry off a couple times, probably.
Well, I do know he gave a past mayor a pass on the ticket.
Oh,
Not a pass, she actually paid the
it was a
ticket.
she, huh?
She actually paid the ticket.
Okay. Any further comments? Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
So, okay, motion carries. Discussion and possible vote on the purchase of a 2026 Chevrolet for the police department in the amount of $55,792. Mr. Gravier.
Mayor, council, this is an issue that's been discussed in our budget committee meetings. The supplement for this has been carried over from a previous year budget, but the main cost of this vehicle $45,000 is coming from a Sussex County grant that the county gives to local law enforcement on a yearly basis. The police department received 2 quotes from Fleet Services for both Hertrick and IG Burton for the vehicle. The low bidder was Hertrick with a retail price of $55,792. Counsel?
Okay, do we have motion?
Motion. Second.
Discussion?
Cliff, the 45,000, is that part of the 55, or we coming up with the whole 55 on top of that?
No, it's 45 supplemented by the 14,000 carryover.
Oh, 14,000 carry, okay.
So pretty much it's all,
Yes.
it's covered.
It's
Yes.
covered, oh, yes, definitely.
And what's left from that will
It's in the
go,
budget.
will go to help fund the equipment, which is another 25K on top of that.
Yeah.
Is it
Which is
really?
also budgeted, yes.
Goodness.
What they can't pull from one card, put it into the other, yes.
Okay. Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Last order of business, discussion and consideration for possible vote on the date for the June regular town council meeting. Mayor?
In that the normal June council meeting date, the third Friday of the month, falls on June the 19th, which is the federal holiday, June the 19th. I'm going to recommend that the meeting date be changed to the following Friday, June the 26th. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Any discussion? Any thoughts? Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. That pretty much does it for the meeting today, and look at that, it's under an hour. I thank everybody for coming and listening online. Enjoy our Bethany Spring, what's left of it, and another great summer's on the way. Thank you. Oh, I made